Good morning, Stampers. This is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker, just like Brian just said. I just saw him sign off, so I thought I would sign in. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. I actually live just outside of Madison, but this morning I am up north, just south of Menominee, where we got probably 8 inches of snow midweek, maybe a little more because the following day it snowed a little more. So, yeah, it's a winter wonderland up where I'm going. If you're watching live, add a comment so I can find myself in the feed. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Ooh, new notification. Okay. Hello, Annie. Let's open that up and make sure I can see my comments. Oh, Brian, you can see me. All right, great. Susan, way down in the southern part of the world, or the country. Hello, Susan. Leah, yay. All right, I'm in the right spot. Well, today I am doing my half flap kits in the mail. Something a little different. I tend to like the simple cards that add a little bit of wow. So the little bit of wow is you open this up, you think it's just a normal A2 card, but it actually opens with the flap. And you can see all the pretty DSP back there as well. And then this one, the same thing. Open it up, and you can write your personal message here on the back side. So what I like about this one is that it's a panel card. So you got a pattern that looks really nice when you break it up and put the little white in between each panel. All right, so good morning, Janet from Virginia. All right, we're in probably all sorts of weather and patterns here in the United States and across the world. Again, I am up north in snowy conditions, a little bit crazy up here. And I'm going to jump right in and get my kits started. I have a lot to go through with you today. So, your kits actually came in a white envelope. I don't have the white envelope with me today because I travel light when I head up north. But your kit would have had these two, your white envelope would have had these two kits in there, nestled between two pieces of designer series paper. Raining in Connecticut, I saw from Jacqueline. New York here, Lydia. All right. Everybody's getting represented today. Diane, I haven't seen a Wisconsin pop through, but I can only see a few comments at once because I am on a smaller computer today. So if any of my Wisconsinites are out there and I haven't seen you, hello. All right, back to your kit. You would have gotten the two kits plus two pieces of 8.5 by 6 designer series paper, that pattern paper. You can set those two aside. We don't use them in the kits. Now I'm pretty sure I cut all of your paper up that you need for your kit. Initially I did not, but then I went back through and I did that because I wanted to include some pattern paper in your kit. You will also get some of these hearts. These hearts we're going to use. Maybe let's work on those hearts while people are coming in. Hello from Wisconsin, Laura Hood. Oh, Ann Acker, you're from Madison too. Woohoo, go Madison. I'm from Sun Prairie, so when I initially moved to Sun Prairie, we had separation between Sun Prairie and Madison, but now it all runs into one. So I'll tell people it's a burb. All right, so the only cutting I'm pretty sure you have to do besides trimming down your ribbons are these hearts. Now there's a specific way we need to cut those hearts, and it's just fussy cut. There's one heart here and there's one heart there. So if you flip this pattern over, you'll see that striped heart there. So what you're going to do is fussy cut one of these, and fussy cut however you like. I'm using our paper snips, which are super sharp. I like to leave a little bit of white around my image. Some people like to go right next to that image. Just fussy cut around that. And I used all of the pattern paper. So being a demonstrator, ooh, I don't have the same thickness on both sides, and that will bother me a little bit, even though I will be giving this card away. Let's trim that down. I want to say there were 16 of these hearts on a sheet, and being a demonstrator I could pre-order these the spring mini catalog items, but we are limited, so I could only order 2 packets, so I only had a limited number of kits, and I did sell out of kits, but I am still selling the digital downloads. So all right, so you got one heart. Now we want the stripy hearts. So be aware of where this one is. I'm going to flip this around, and you're going to use this as a template. You can use it however you want. You can cut all these out. You know, we might cut a peach one out. I didn't use the leaves. There is some green in the hearts backgrounds on that one, but I didn't cut any of the leaves out. But this part I can certainly cut. And put it as close as you want. Get some more hearts off of there if you want. You know, fussy cut the hearts you want and this on this side, and then use the rest to cut these striped ones out. So just use that one you cut. And is it better? No. It's kind of hard to see. Smaller red stripe, the one you really want up, and then this larger stripe, but just fussy cut around it. Now there is a coordinating punch to this suite, but I didn't get the punch. And I wanted to send a lot of hearts with you, and it's easier if I send things flat, because the more little punch shapes and ribbons and embellishments I send in your kit, the thicker that little envelope gets. And you all know in the United States we need less than 1/4 inch and pretty flat envelopes in order to mail with that. Well, either the first class stamp or the 2-ounce stamp. So anything above 2 ounces. I mean, I weigh my envelopes to you, so that's why you get extra things. And I like to put those full sheets of designer series paper in your envelope to help with that thickness, bumpiness. All right, so we have 2. You're going to have more than what I actually used, but I'm going to actually get a peach one this time. These smaller ones that are on here, you know, fussy cut the large pieces. You grab your circle punches and you can punch those out as well, or however you want to do it. Fussy cut those out. We're going to fussy cut a peach one. Good morning, Sandy and Judy. Judy, thank you for the compliment on the cute cards. Yeah, I loaded up on the hearts. So in your hearts kit, there are the other shapes that I already punched and or die cut. The smaller ones are from retired heart punches, the little minis that we used to carry. I tend to hang on to my little minis because they're so cute and I can use them in additional cards. The 2 peach ones, I shouldn't say peach, those are Blushing Bride, I'm pretty sure. Cut from the pattern paper, are from a current heart punch pack that we have. And I'll show that to you in a little bit, just cutting that out. What else? These 2, oh, let me get the kit out. It'll be easier to show you on the kit than on the card where they're all kind of smushed up. Good morning, Sandy. Sandy, did I already say good morning to you? I think I did. If I'm missing anybody saying good morning, because I can only see 2 comments at once on my little laptop that I travel with. All right. Clear envelope. You can certainly mail with these. Make sure you put those white Avery address labels on in there. I wouldn't write with a Sharpie. I get those white Avery address labels and put those on there. Or use that just to store card idea cards in, whatever you want. Just don't throw that little cello bag away. We do sell those cello bags. They're called medium envelopes. Maybe if I have time, I will show you where those are in the catalog. All right, I gave you extras, like I said. I like to put some extra things in there in case you want to make extra cards with like your cardstock. So I gave you 2 of these pieces. On the back is this Blushing Bride. Pretty kind of Versamark looking on the back with all those hearts. We're just going to use one. So set that other one aside. Use it wherever you want. I gave you some of these banner basic white pieces. Hopefully you have a little happy Valentine's Day sentiment that can go in there. If you get paper pumpkin kits, paper pumpkin stamp sets are usually smaller. So go back in your paper pumpkin stamp set kit stash and see if you got a little happy Valentine's Day or something else that will fit there. So I didn't use those on my card. I didn't put any sentiment on these. Not sure why. Well, I can tell you why. It breaks up the feel. So I think if you had ink on, it's so starkly white against everything else. I think initially when I designed it, I put it up there. Or put it right here. Everything is so centered on this card, forcing your eye to the center, that off to either side kind of didn't work for me. But I wanted to give you a little little tag to write a sentiment. You can even like tuck it in right here. So it's just hanging out. And just write a hi there. H-I. Hello. Like with one of your Stampin' Write markers. Anyway, all right, let's move along here. All right, everything else in your kit, you got 2 of these white glittery organdy ribbons. We're only using 1 today. You got some embellishments that color coordinate. So everybody got different embellishments depending on where you were in the ordering sequence. But everything color coordinates. You're only going to use a few. I only used 1 actually. 1 of the little hearts. So you got some of the little pearl hearts. These are little hearts. I know they're kind of hard to see unless they're up close, but those really are heart shapes. I just used 1 right there, but I gave you these extras, like I said, in case you... It's nice to have some embellishments on hand. I didn't use those on my card today. All right, everything else I did use. These are those 2 shapes that are in the catalog, the heart punches. It's a punch pack. And then I'll show you the shapes that were from retired sets. Penny, hello. And I see somebody said, finally found us. Yeah, it's hard. Facebook hides the videos. You got to refresh, log out, all that good stuff. What else do I have here? Oh, here's that peach one. So these are the shapes that are from retired punches. But when I do Valentine's, I like to do a lot of heart shapes, not just 1. So those are from retired punches. Sorry if you want those. You won't be able to use those or get those unless you already have them in your stash. These are stitched hearts, and they are part of... Oh, you know what? That's part of a retired product too. Now, don't quote me on that. It was in the fall catalog. Celebrate with Tags. And that was a weird one. Oh, no, I can't remember. Either the stamp set retired and the dies didn't, or the dies retired and the stamp set didn't. So these are from that. They're just stitch charts. They fit this perfectly. Okay, now let's get back to assembling. Shouldn't be taking us 15 minutes to get this far. All right, so your Sweet Sorbet cardstock opens to the left. I already ran it through the embossing machine using the stripes and spatters. So this is the stripes, and it was a smaller one. It wasn't a 6x6 or a 6x4. It was one of the smaller ones, so that's why only one of the flaps was embossed. You are going to cut off the top flap. Now, I didn't cut off the top flap, so it would mail a little easier. You are certainly welcome to use this top flap somewhere else. On a second card, perhaps, with your extra ribbon and embellishments and pattern paper. All right, so there's that. Extras, set that aside. All right, so I'm going to swish this off to the side. Now, next, we are going to grab our adhesive and decide which pattern paper we want to face down. I want the hearts up, so we're going to cover up that Versamark looking. Jean Ann, you finally found us. All right, so all I did so far was fussy cut some hearts. Put that at the top. Fussy cut your hearts off of the pattern paper. So Jean Ann, you might have to go back and see how I did that. But I fussy cut this one, flipped it around, used this as a template. Fussy cut that one. All right, we'll leave that there. Hopefully that explains it a little bit. And then the glittered organdy ribbon. Now we are going to attach that down. I'm going to use my tape runner. Hopefully that's straight. And I see my ribbon is a little short. Now sometimes if I cut stuff wrong, I put that in my assembly kit. Hopefully yours is long enough it can wrap around. That was my intent. If not, I see the paper, my paper is just a smidge too wide. That'll drive me crazy even though it's a smidge too wide. So we're just going to fussy cut both of them off. Do something a little different today instead of wrapping around. Okay, there's that. Then this goes here. And on the inside, flap that down. And then I'm going to bring in all of my hearts. So I start with the outside and work to the inside. I started with the largest hearts, and I'm going to do this opposite. I have the scallopy one to the right here. I'll do the scallopy one to the left. Now what I did was I ran some tape runner on that flap. Do some tear and tape. You can use glue dots. You can pop these all up in dimensionals. But just make sure you don't go over the edge, and you don't want to glue the tops of your hearts, otherwise you glue your flap down. So I just made my way in, and I see my adhesive is a little too close to the edge there. Laura, your computer keeps freezing, but you like the card. How about you kick everybody off the internet while you're watching One of a Kind today so that you get all the broadband to yourself. That usually helps if nobody else is using the broadband. Usually if something is freezing, it's usually on your end. And if it's freezing on my end, it's because I'm in rural Wisconsin, and it's taking longer the waves are taking longer to get through all the coldness. And there's nothing I can do about that. It's crystal clear here and freezing cold. Although I don't think there's much wind today, so that really helps. But I think it's like 0 degrees. All right, then I'm just doing the, I think that's Blushing Bride. On either side, covering up some of the hearts. Then I'm doing the large stripy one on the left and the small stripy one on the right. And I'm just adding a little bit of adhesive like on one side where it's not hitting the adhesive I put on the card. Okay, now the center one I popped up on a dimensional. And when I travel up here, I try to leave supplies up here. But I think I've been, you know what, dimensionals are in the other room. That's the problem. I keep them in the other, where we actually do stamping and not where I do filming up here. But I would pop this one up on a dimensional. But you might not want to pop it up if you want to add embellishments, because, you know, our postal system likes flat things. So there's that. And then the rest of these I'm going to attach with some glue dots. So let's just get those out. Glue dots, glue dots, glue dots. All right, I see. Yep, Brian is addressed the freezing issue. Yep, and he said you can always go back and watch the videos. The videos are in the, they're different based on where they're located in different spots, whether you're looking on a real computer, a laptop, or phone, or iPad. Generally, they're under videos. I'm going to say I think Brian pins them all at the top during event day, so that kind of helps if you miss any. I will go back and add my photo of my projects to the photo section and put a link in that photo back to my video, so that will help you find it as well. And then I'm just doing contrasting colors, so the Sweet Sorbet Mini Heart next to that Blushing Bride one, and kind of hanging it off there. Last, we are going to do Pearl, and I'm going to do a shiny pearl right there. Then I have got one, I got two actually I didn't use, so let's flip that open. Oh, and I lost a pearl right there. Let's put that back on my sheet so I don't lose it there on the floor. All right, and then these two, this is covering all this up, but to decorate the inside, let's do contrast on contrast. So contrast with the Sweet Sorbet there, so you can see it, and then the peach right there covers it up. What else was I going to say? Oh, this piece right here. If this bothers you, seeing this right here, you could, well, it's already, I was going to say you could use this and cover this up. This is a straight-sided heart. The scallop part would be harder to fussy cut around. I didn't worry about that. It looks kind of neat right there because now the green is coming through on those hearts. So that's our first card. All right, second one is called this one. Anna is asking, how do I watch these classes on YouTube? That is a question I will refer to Brian. My class, when I'm running live, I don't have special streaming software. So it doesn't go right to YouTube whenever I'm going live, wherever I'm going live. But Brian hopefully can chime in on that. I personally do have a YouTube channel, so I try to remember to download my Facebook Lives to my YouTube channel so that my Stampin' friends who are not on Facebook can enjoy the YouTube Lives. And wherever I'm at in social media world, I'm Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker, so just check there to see if I'm there. I'm not on Instagram. My Facebook page is effectively not functional because I changed email addresses and I failed to change that information, but that was a while ago. I still haven't got back to Pinterest, but I still have a ton of stuff on Pinterest. So anyway, I digress. I'm not on Instagram yet, but I do have a Facebook page and I do have a blog. All right, so here is the Abigail Rose kit. Again, I embossed the front using a time-worn embossing folder. The full front is embossed because that is a 3D 6x6 in folder. So we're going to cut the top flap off. Again, I included the top flap because it's easier to mail. The thickness, if it's more uniform. So just cut that off to my slit. And that slit is just at the halfway point. So I scored it, I embossed it. Scored it, and then I embossed it, and then I took my paper trimmer and I cut the slit like right here, and this is to the 2 1/8 mark, so it's at exactly half. So that flap again we are not using, and let's work with the inside first. Your panels, before you place them on your card, make sure you have them lined up because it is a continuous panel, so this is not lined up. The stem is in the tips of the flowers. I think I did it right the first way. There we go. The leaf is meeting there. Flower is meeting right there. Oh, nope. That one's not meeting right there. There. Rose down here, stem up there. So that's how they're going to be. Now there's just a little bit of white border. So my trick when I'm doing panel cards is I will start with the outer 2 panels. Brian says he's going to PM the lady who asked about YouTube the information. Okay, left panel right here, just eyeballing a border on the left and the top. And these panels are 3 equal pieces of 1 5/8 by 2 inches. And actually, if you purchase a kit from me, you should have received in your email inbox 3 tutorials. One with the half flap tutorial with all of the measurements to create this card for the panel card. And then there are 11 additional card designs using the panel technique and the half flap technique, so you get ideas on how to apply this cut to your supplies. All right, so now I'm just eyeballing left to right here. So you don't want it all, over to the left too much because then you're going to have too much white there. Left to right, top to bottom. Okay. And we're going to adhere that down. Oh, here's I almost said a really retired color. Anybody knows what this color is? Really retired? This is Mint Macaron, but when I first started with Stampin' Up, we had one called Sage Shadow, which was similar to this. I think it was more, it was a warmer green though. Not quite as bright as this one. All right, next, oh, pattern paper. So this is 1 inch by 1.5 inches. Wait, hang on a second. I got my DSP a little mixed up here. Let me look here. Yeah, 1.5 inches by 5.25 inches. So these measurements are in my tutorial. So I was saying you get 3 tutorials with the actual kit purchase. And I also have just the tutorial purchase up on my blog. So you get the 3 tutorials for $10. So one tutorial is half flap. One is the December Pretty Paper Projects, which has 15 different assorted greeting cards in it to get your ideas flowing. And the third one is the Kite Fold Fancy Fold. I'm part of a Fancy Fold tutorial group. So we have a different Fancy Fold each month, and I hadn't shared the Kite Fold with anybody yet. So I decided to do add 3 different tutorials because it was the holiday time. I wanted to do something a little special. So it's the first time I've done 3 tutorials with a purchase, but that you can still purchase the PDFs through my blog. I can show you that when we are done with this right here. All right, this is the natural finish ribbon. It might be a little bit longer, it might not be, but you can see that with a natural and usually the neutral ribbons, I like to pull them for the organic looks. You just use either the tip of your finger or the tip of a scissors and pull it, and you get kind of you get to see the grains. And then I don't like this hanging off though. Just keep on pulling how much you want. And cut this off that you've pulled out. Okay, let's just scrap. So I pulled it a little more than what I did on the sample. But any of our ribbons, if it frays on you and you like that frayed look, go ahead and pull it. The worst thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut that end off if you don't like it. So, all right, the satin mint macaron, this is really pretty stuff, is cut at straight pieces. We want angles, but I'm going to anchor that down first. And I'm going to use just a few glue dots. I'm going to use 3 actually, so it doesn't twist on me. Wendy says she just finished her kite card. 3 attempts and lots of wasted paper. Okay, so Fancy Folds, I would recommend you get out that copy paper that you printed something off from the computer. You didn't like it. I would cut all my templates from there. Make sure everything looks right, especially that pattern paper, before you dive into your pattern paper stash and use the good stuff. Or I tend to use on the Fancy Folds, once I get a pattern, each Designer Series paper pack, that's what we call our pattern paper, comes with a white backer sheet. Well, most of them. Some come with a thicker craft color sheet. The white backer sheets that come in the Designer Series paper packs are great for writing down template instructions, cutting out pieces for templates, and putting them in your template stash. So if you misplace the PDF file, you can go to your template file and cut from there. Okay, there's that. Yeah, Denise says the 8th time's the charm. Yeah, it seems like, you know, the minute that you cut something wrong, it's like this half a split second after you cut it that you realize that it's cut wrong. That's just, yeah, that's how it goes. Even after I've been paper crafting for so many years, I still do the copy paper trick. All right, I'm using the Cottage Row stamp set. So Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are not allowed to include stamped images. That's why my kits feature heavily Designer Series paper, ribbons, and strips of embellishments, plus a tutorial included with the purchase as well. So you need to do your own stamping, sentiment stamping. I can't include image stamping. And since I'm in a remote location. I didn't bring an ink pad, but guess what? These mini Marvelous markers are great. Oh, you know what? I don't know where it's on the block. I never tested that. So what I did was I lined up the edge of the block with the edge of my grid paper to see where that stamp is positioned on the block. That's just how I line up these sentiment stamps that are not photopolymer. And then I try to do the same thing. Got that tag on my grid straight there. All right, so Best Wishes. This was cut from the He's All That and He's All Man. He's the Man. Sweet. That die set is, oh, did I stamp it on the wrong side? I did. There is a correct white side and a wrong side. Let me do this again. Flip side is got the indent. I can't not do it. Now watch, I'm not going to be able to stamp straight on this side. Third time's charm. Okay. And I'm just using the fat marker tip. There is a thin marker tip on that side for writing. Okay, line up my tag again. Line up my tip of my edge of my line of my bottom side of that acrylic block that's closest to me with my grid line. There we go. Okay. That works for me. Okay, Best Wishes can be for pretty much anything. You gotta length the ribbon. And I did something kind of crazy. You see 3 tails here? No, 4 tails. I think what I did, because people are bow challenged, I like to do different things with the ribbon. Tend to do flat things. Let's just put a glue dot right there. And what I did was I just took it, placed it on the glue dot. This is our linen thread, which is thin. And came back with a loop. Trying to get my loops the same, either side. This one's kind of twisted. It's about the same size, but since it's twisted, it's not there. And then I think I did another loop. You can do as many loops as you want, or let me pull that off. You can do something like that, and then we would just cover it up with one of our little embellishments in the center, one of these guys, or meet the ends, take it and do bunny ears. So thinner ribbon pieces, this linen twine, this linen thread, the baker's twine is, I like to do double loops, double bows. So you should have 2 loops on either side. You'll have 1 loop on one side. Towards the bottom. You're going to cut that one to make the tails. Then you're going to pull this, line the tails up, do another trim. Oh, do another trim and don't pull it out. And cut it all the way. Now I can put that over the, there. So it's a double loop. I did something really funky there, but I know I just put it through the glue dot. All right, and then from your rustic metallic shapes, I did the big one, but now I've got a huge double loop. And guess what? If I put a big rustic metallic shape over there, I bet you it won't mail. So there's 2 smaller ones. I put one in the upper right and one in the upper left. And then this one, so these are on, how about up there? At the top of the tag. Depends on where you have your sentiment stamped. I went a little lower on this one in my sample. So those are the 2 cards for today. Half flap. Again, I like to do something simple, but with a little stepped up version. Not just a plain card that opens on the front. And where's the other one? Here we go. Here's my sample, and here's the one we made. Here's the one we made. Here's the sample. So I have a few more things. I have a few more minutes, so I'm going to go through a few things here before you all scatter away and refill your coffee. I'm going to do a little catalog tour. Oh, hang on a second. This was the stamp set. So Cottage Rose is part of the Abigail Rose suite. And if you purchase using suite numbers or bundle item numbers, you usually get a percentage off of some of the items that are in those item numbers. So make sure if you see the suite or the bundle in the catalog, you order using those item numbers. You won't get the discount if you use the individual item numbers. All right. Thank you for the compliments, Diane and Gloria. Oh, Denise, hang on. Here we go. We're going to do celebration tour right now. Since I am up north on a smaller computer, I couldn't update my blog, but the celebration promotion went live on January 5th. And it runs through February 28th. While supplies last, so please order early if you'd like any of these products. We are going to just do a catalog tour sample. We have two sales levels, the 50 and the 100, and of course hosts get a free set as well. So here's the first one. It's a $50. You have to purchase a minimum of $50 excluding shipping and tax to earn these things. You can spend $500 and earn $10 to $50 level things if you want. There is no limit on the number of free items that you earn, so keep that in mind. You can get 1 of every one if you want, and 2 of everything, whatever you want. So owls, we got Thanks a Bunch carrots. We got pattern paper. Oh, these are really pretty. If you like wildflowers and purple and like soft pastels, these aren't really soft pastels. The rich raspberry is in there popping out, but it's really pretty. This is a full sheet of these ovals with some swags. So you might get, it's right, where is it on? Right here. You can see the ovals kind of peeking out. I think there are 6 ovals and 2 swags per sheet. All right, so that is the $50 level. Oh, cute. $50 level if you're into barnyards. Diane, you're welcome. Thank you for making the purchase, and or everybody, thank you for making a purchase. I appreciate your orders. I appreciate your kits in the mail. I appreciate you thinking of joining my Stampin' Up! Team, which during celebration, it's the best time to join my team. All right, back to the catalog tour. Pretty or cute barnyards with vegetables. This is like corn and tomatoes, chickens. Red with white images of the barnyard scene, trees. That one would be great scrapbook layout. So you get 2 sheets of that pattern, 2 of each pattern. So it's front side, back side is what they show in the catalog. Sending support, another $50 level. That's a cling stamp set. This one is gorgeous pattern paper. So if you like purple, like me, it features Blackberry Bliss. You can see the darker purple tones in there. Calypso Coral, Basic Black, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Fuchsia, and Petal Pink. So this coordinates with the Fragrant Flowers bundle that's in the mini catalog. We've got In the Country, if you like the country scenes there, stamp set. That's cling. This one, Beautifully Happy, is photopolymer, and that's a $100 level item. So you got to purchase a minimum of $100, excluding shipping and tax, to earn that one. Here's another $100 level one. It's 12 by 12 paper of all these springish pastel-y patterns. And you get 48 sheets in that pattern paper pack. It is well worth finding $100 worth of fun stuff. Now, if you decide to join my Super Awesome Stampers team during celebration, you also get to earn these celebration items. So that's one thing I think that's unique with Stampin' Up! Is whatever promotions they offer to customers, the demonstrators can take part in as well. So the host only set for this time is the Scenic Garden. It is a cling stamp set, a bench, a garden gate, and is that called a topiary pot? It's 3 pots stacked in one, a tiered pot. And then here is the joining option. You get 3 options. 3 different values, 3 different price points. I detail the details though on those on my blog. They will also be on the join button under my online store. So you get to choose between a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss folder in the exclusive boho blue color, the white, or if you would just like to not get a mini embossing machine, that's option 3. You get your choice of $175 of Stampin' Up! Products for only $99 plus tax. There is 0 shipping cost on a starter kit. So that means you save about $18 in shipping if you sign up to be a demonstrator on my team. Now, I should say, if you sign up to be a demonstrator on my team, if you sign up to be a demonstrator on somebody else's team, you also get the Stampin' Up! Promotion new demonstrator options as well. But I hope you consider joining my team. I would appreciate it. And if you have any questions about what it means to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can go ahead and PM me on my personal page, on my business page. Now, a note on the business page, I don't get those messages very often, although I like to try to check them every few days to see if anybody has sent me one. So if you sent me a message on my business Facebook page, which is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker, I haven't responded. Maybe try contact me through my blog. If you're on my email list, you can certainly email me. Or you can send me a personal PM and hopefully I'll see it there. All right, so I'm going to do a little catalog tour with the mini catalog. This is the mini catalog for January to April 2023. We have all these product suites, bundles, and catalog at a glance. And I don't think I have time to walk through all of the pages, but I wanted to go through a few things. We'll go through my highlights and then I'll come back and do a quick tour if I've got a few minutes. All right, the pattern paper I used today is from the Country Floral Lane suite. Again, the suite collection, you use that item number, you get one of each on the page, one of each on the items on this page. You need to read the fine details when you order those suites. It's also available with the bundle item price, the stamp set, and the punch. But there's the pattern paper that I use. This one, I use the pink one right there. I use this one. And then in your kit, you would have gotten extra one of those, hopefully, and one of something else. I wanted to point out at the back of the catalogs, either catalog, we've got these at-a-glance pages. So if you need to quickly look for something, they're back here. Hybrids, dies, the stamps, the punches, papers, embellishments. Some of you may receive some of these embellishments that were available for me to order, but when I ran out, I had to substitute the annual catalog ones. All right, Cindy, you are welcome. Got a few more things. Annual catalog. Annual catalog you can download from my blog. Right now you cannot download the mini catalog, but you can see the mini catalog through my online store. Again, I'm up north where I can't edit my blog on this little tiny computer that I travel with. All right, the Abigail Rose suite. This is where I got the pattern paper from, and also the ribbon, and where I use the coordinating stamp set. It comes with a coordinating die with the bundle price. Make sure you order using the bundle price or bundle item number or the suite item number if that interests you. I wanted to point out that I do use my Many Marvelous markers a lot. That is a super good half price item. You get 40 colors in all of our basic color collections plus basic black, and there are extra slots down there to put your in colors as well. So that's a good half price item if you get that high in sales. Then I wanted to point out our embellishments. So you may have gotten a selection of embellishments in your kit. The kit that I actually worked out of had number 11, the Elegant Faceted Gems. And then our ribbons, I used the linen thread on this page. I also used the soft succulent. Oh, I said it was mint macaron. It's actually soft succulent satin ribbon in the natural finish. If you don't like linen thread, we do offer baker's twine in a collection right there. And then those double heart punches are right here. And that's it. Last, I am going to offer some super bonus things here to everybody who's on my email list or would like to get on my email list. I will email you a tutorial, an idea file with the Cheerful Basket stamp set and die. So the way you get on my email list is you send me a Facebook message and I will add you to my email list. Add a comment here in my video if you'd like to get this free tutorial emailed to you. It's a PDF idea file, it's called. Add a comment and we'll get the messaging system going, and I'll get you on that email list to email you the tutorial. And that's available for anybody who asks for it. You just need to ask me for it and I will email that to you. And of course, I need your email address to get it to you. All right, that's it for today. Have a great day and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.